Welcome to State of Affairs. I'm Steve Adubato, coming to you from the Agnes Varus NJTV studio in beautiful Newark, New Jersey. Speaking of Newark, this young lady knows Newark very well. Yeah. She is Karen Hunter. Our good friend Karen Hunter is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM Radio. Heard every day?
Yeah, Monday through Friday.
What time?
3 p.m. Eastern.
How cool is the show?
Very. It's so cool. I can't stand myself some days.
What's the focus?
Oh, well now, my focus right now is trying to come up with solutions and heal the nation. You know, it's a lot. It's a heavy burden.
Especially for you're a Jersey girl.
Yeah, I'm a Jersey girl.
And here's the thing. You and I, Karen and I have been having this conversation forever. For those of you who have seen us before, Karen and I co-anchored a show in public broadcasting a couple of years back, and we still work together now in a whole range of situations. And the one thing she's always talked about is, how can we have a more civil, meaningful, productive political discourse? Really?
Yeah, no, I actually have gone off the rails a little bit. My patience is not what it ever has been. And, I think I'm frustrated. I'm a little frustrated. I just feel like I don't know where we actually make this work. And it's tough some days.
And you're an optimist. You're scaring me
Yeah,
right now.
I know.
What do you think it is that's, the tipping point, if you will?
I just think and I teach journalism, right? So, I'm talking to my students about news and what's fake and what's real and what's BS. And I think we have spent maybe, and it's media's fault, 5 to 7 years in a place where there was no accountability, where people, fostered opinions and pushed opinions as opposed to factual-based, news gathering. And it became the norm. Blogs took off. And people's opinion, again, became this thing. And Facebook and other Reddit and other places allow people to have forums that didn't deserve to have forums.
Not a good thing?
No, not a good thing.
Really?
No, I think we need to have a compass that says this is due north, this is correct, this is right, this is wrong. We've talked about this before. I grew up watching Walter Cronkite, and my dad made me watch 6 o'clock every evening, Channel 2, which is CBS.
What'd you take from it?
That there is a right and wrong, and that in journalism there are people who understand how to deliver that, and it's okay. We should have not my side or your side, but this is what's happening in the world.
And to that end, when I've joined you on your show, and you've been here before, we've talked a lot about the phenomena of Donald Trump, but now President Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. We're taping this in the fall of 2017. All kinds of things are going to happen daily. What is your sense of the president and the degree to which he has contributed in any meaningful, positive way to the discourse that we all
Did you say positive?
Seek? Yeah, or any way.
The best thing about Donald Trump is I think he has awakened a lot of people. I was at a luncheon at Rayo's.
Rayo's over in East Harlem.
Yeah.
It's not Manhattan, it's East Harlem.
Okay. All right. So I'm at a luncheon with some well-heeled people, New York liberals, and they were shocked. They were shocked. I can't believe the racial Charlottesville. They were shocked. And I'm like,
were
what?
You?
No. We've been living in a nation that has, a kid went into a church and murdered people. This wasn't under Trump. This was during Obama's administration. Something's going on in this country, and it's not the president's.
What is it?
I think there's something going on in this country that we've ignored.
What is it?
We could call it evil, but I think it's a lack of connection, that we don't see one another as human beings. We don't see one another as family members or even as Americans. We have this otherism that we promote, that we're cool, I'm cool, my people are cool, but these other people are not and somehow not worthy. And I think that, Trump is a symptom of that. We have Trump because that's more prevalent than we'd like to think.
Is it largely based around race?
Yeah, I think race becomes a thing. I've been toying with something recently that I'm hoping will catch fire. This kind of elimination of whiteness. Yeah.
Explain that.
So the term white people is made up. It was a made-up construct. You're Italian.
Italian American. My family's from Italy.
Yeah, but your culture.
That's
you
right.
You know what that is. When I tell you, when I talk about Rails, you understand. If you're Polish, you know what your culture is. If you're Irish, you know what your culture is. Scottish, Chinese, Korean, Jewish. You know. What's white? What's white food, white music, white? It was a made-up construct, and I think we could trace it back to 1618. It was first discovered in literature, but it was designed to separate this term that you're white and I'm not. And so to justify a system of slavery and then Jim Crow and then this whole, kind of otherism that I'm talking about, you have to have, white and black, right?
And I'm sorry for interrupting, Karen, but quote, Black Lives Matter contributes how to the public discourse?
Black Lives Matter, again, is a symptom. It's a frustration. It came on the heels of Trayvon Martin's trial that acquitted George Zimmerman for murdering this boy who was simply coming home. And 3 mothers, I believe,
That's right.
came together to form this. But since then, it has taken on some...
Is it a positive force?
I mean, it's a force. You can't. I'm not going to say it's negative, because it's here, and it's here because of something that forced it into being. If there wasn't forced into being, this kind of frustration that I can just be indiscriminately taken off of this earth because somebody viewed me as dangerous. Trayvon Martin, 17 years old, coming home to his father's house, is not here anymore because somebody deemed him as a thug.
No doubt. But as I talk to some of my friends, happen to be white in this case, many of them cops. Right. Who will make reference to, and you and I, we don't hold back on anything. And so some of those friends have said, you know what, I get the Black Lives Matter movement, but when I hear some folks in that movement in a rally say, what do we want, a dead cop, what do we want? Now, they don't know, and neither do I.
Right. Well, I mean, we could then...
That wasn't the purpose of them.
No, not at all. But, within every movement, within every group, there's going to be people who are going to go rogue and do... That's not the center or the heart of it. At any point in time, I could be part of Black Lives Matter,
But you wouldn't say that.
I would never say that because I'm a human being.
That's
but
right.
Again, that speaks to where we are, and it goes across the board. But I always look at cause and effect, right? Everything has a beginning point. We always try to start the story somewhere in the middle or towards the end, but there's a genesis to everything that's happening in this country, right?
Where do we go now, though? I mean, you got Trump. You've got everything around Trump, everyone who supports Trump, and things need to be done. We need to solve problems.
Yeah, we need infrastructure. Yeah.
And the conversation is often not about those things.
Well, and often because somebody's tweeting at 3 a.m. about dumb stuff or retweeting somebody taking a swing at a golf ball and hitting Hillary Clinton in the head. What's up with that? It's lack of discipline. It's a sense of I don't know what it is. I want to say it's a medical event. That would make me feel better about it. But I just think that somebody wasn't prepared for the highest office in the land, the highest office in the world.
We should also be clear. You've said publicly in the past that you have been a Republican.
Yeah, registered. I still am.
Just want to clarify.
Registered Republican.
And the time we have left, in New Jersey, we've got an interesting race for governor. I don't want to get into the weeds. I want to nationalize it.
Right.
To what degree does this race even matter nationally?
Probably not at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Only one of... Virginia and New Jersey are the only 2 states in the nation with a race for governor. It doesn't matter.
We're Jerseyans, right? So, we've had Christie and we've had Florio. We've had Christie Todd Whitman and we've had, Jim McGreevey.
Where's New Jersey fit in the nation?
It is schizophrenic. Jersey.
Really?
I mean, we are resilient and tough, and whoever's sitting in that office, and it's not even, I can't even compare it to the national landscape because we even Christie, we checked him, even though he was doing some things that may not have been appropriate, we show up and we vote, and there'll be another governor who'll be the opposite because that's what we do, right?
See that we swing back and forth?
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do.
Let me ask you this in the time we have left. The silver lining in terms of race relations, in terms of having a more civil, meaningful discourse to move forward in solving some of at least making progress. Tell me where it is. Because if not, what are we going to do?
We have to. We're Americans. We're from Jersey.
That's right.
I'm optimistic. And I think Trump has awakened, as I said before, a lot of people to understand that there's something going on here, and each individual has a responsibility to do something about it. We can no longer sit in our little shtetls and our little, home, cul-de-sacs and bury our heads in the sand.
Gotta be engaged.
It will impact you, so we have to, yeah.
Talking about being engaged, check out Karen's show every day on SiriusXM Radio, 3 to 6 p.m. It also repeats. You're also building some other, you're building an entire operation.
Yeah,
over there at
Urban
SiriusXM.
View is powerful right now. We just produced a couple of new shows, and I'm really excited about the direction. But it's about engaging people. So we have a lawyer, Laura Coates, who's a CNN analyst. She has a show. We have a comedian named Godfrey, who's spitfire.
Godfrey, who I know. Godfrey's great.
Godfrey, we're doing a power hour. I just want to give people, many outlets to have conversations.
Jersey Girl does very well.
Yes, and so does a Jersey man.
Thanks, partner.
Yes, love you.
I love you too. And we're not just saying that for TV, media. This is State of Affairs. I'm Steve Adubato. This is Karen Hunter. We'll be right back.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Agnes Veris NJTV studio at 2 Gateway. Funding has been provided by New Jersey Sharing Network, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, JAG Physical Therapy, Georgian Court University, Valley National Bank, Verizon, and by Fedway Associates.